Hello and welcome to Rathod's IS. Today in this session, we are going to see current affairs of 17th November 2023. So here we are going to take Delhi edition of The Hindu and we are going to list out important articles from our examination point of view. Not only for UPSC, if you are preparing for any other competitive examinations, current affairs plays a very important role. So you have to read one national newspaper every day to cover current affairs. So one thing I want to say here is today we are going to have a free live session on mains answer writing. So there we are going to discuss like how to write a mains answer. So how to manage time and how to concise the content into the words and how to write an answer within a word limit like 150 words, 200 words, 250 words, and how to structure your answer in IBC format. And even we are going to discuss like how to maximize your marks in your mains. And also we are going to discuss how to write an essay and what is the right approach to answer case studies. So all these things will be covered in our free mains answer writing orientation today. So that too at 7 p.m. And we are going to have this class in this Zoom. And here this is the meeting ID and passcode. So you can save this ID and passcode so that you can join the session at 7 p.m. sharp. Okay, so remember it is a free live class, and if you want to improve your mains answer writing and even if you have any doubts regarding this mains answer writing, you can raise your voice and you can ask me directly in this Zoom session. Okay, so don't forget to join. So now let us see our newspaper. So this is the Delhi edition. So the first important topic is United Nations Security Council seeks humanitarian pauses corridors in Gaza. So as you all know that there is issue which is happening between Israel and Palestine. Right? So Hamas, they attacked Israel. Yes or no? So this issue, it is not new. So it dates back in our 18th to 19th century onwards. So this issue which is happening because of Jews. Jews are most persecuted minority in the world. So actually what happened, Israel now drops leaflets telling the people to leave. So Israeli forces, you're dropping this leaflet asking Palestinians to flee the parts of southern Gaza, residents said on Thursday. So this signals possible expansion of Israeli offensive to more areas. So Israel which is starting to occupy many areas. So Israel is threatening this Palestinians now. So actually the solution for this is two-state solution. So India also says that we can go for this two-state solution to come up with the solution for this Israel-Palestine issue. But there are a number of people, they are also saying that so this will not work. And we discussed what are the criticisms of this two-state solution as well. So here from examination point of view, the key word here is United Nations Security Council. Yes, you have to know some facts like what is this. So when this United Nations Security Council came into existence, and you have to see the members. So in members we have permanent members and non-permanent members. So India recently served 8th term in this United Nations Security Council as non-permanent members. And you have to see this G4 countries and as well as Coffee Club. So these G4 countries, they are saying that, they are protesting that, so we need to have reforms. So we need to have reforms in this United Nations Security Council, and we have to expand membership. So some continents, they are having the less presentation in this United Nations Security Council. So for them, there is a need to increasing of non-permanent membership, and India is fighting for permanent membership status. But it is not allowed by China. So China says that if India is a member which is getting this permanent membership status, so even Pakistan need to get that. Okay, so this permanent members, so they are called as P5 members. So there are 5 permanent members of United Nations Security Council, and they have power called as veto power. So this veto power which used by the countries like Russia and China, China is using that to stop the entry of India as a permanent member. And even one more permanent member is Russia. Okay, I will tell you the story, follow that story. So United Nations Security Council, the important aim is to maintain peace and security. Right? So what is the important aim of United Nations Security Council? To ensure peace and security. So one permanent member here is Russia. So what is going on? Yes, you are right. That is Russia-Ukraine crisis. So because of this Russia-Ukraine crisis, so we need to have this humanitarian aid. Yes or no? Yes. So Russia is using veto power here and it is not allowing to pass resolution in United Nations Security Council. So it is one criticism now. So the important aim of this United Nations Security Council, it is to maintain peace and stability. But these P5 countries, they are using this veto power and they are undermining the aim of this United Nations Security Council. So you may get a question like, so this type of multilateral organization, they are becoming toothless. And you may get the keyword like analyze, comment, discuss. So there you can add about, first one will be our United Nations Security Council, second one will be WTO, and third one will be WHO. So these 3 organizations that you can quote in your answers. So because of this COVID-19, so the relevance of this WHO had been decreased. And even because of this COVID-19, so there are some disruptions which are seen even in this WTO as well. And many countries now, they are moving towards this strategy called as protectionism. So they want to protect their domestic industries. So because of this, it is undermining international trade. For example, USA. So like that, you can get a question in your mains and you have to think in these dimensions. Okay, so yesterday I got a strange message in WhatsApp that, ma'am, you are saying that you have to think in many dimensions. I am reading continuously, but I am not getting to understand like how to correct the things. And even one more question is in the comment box. So many students or many toppers are saying that you should not watch analysis, news analysis, you should read the newspaper. So for this question, my answer is, so if you are able to connect one topic with the different subjects, or if you are able to analyze, then there is no need. So if you are facing problem like analysis, if you are not understanding the basic concept, then you have to watch analysis for sure. So analysis will guide you. So after seeing the analysis, yes, you can go through skimming of the newspaper. Okay. So I hope I addressed the answer, right? And one more thing here is, if you are reading and if you are not connecting the things, then that is waste. Yes, read. At least in the first reading, just understand the concept. And in second reading, try to see the previous questions. And you have to analyze whether you are able to answer those questions or not, which appeared in the previous years. And later on, you have to start digging deep in the third reading and you have to interconnect the topics. For example, geography can be connected with environment and as well as disaster management. And polity, you can read polity along with ethics, whether it is correct or not. Because as a bureaucrat, you should not do the work. So what are the actions you are doing? It should be according to the law. And you have to follow our constitution. So whenever you are doing any actions that are morally right, but if they are against law, means you will be out of the game. Right? So you should not do such type of actions. You have to follow always law, and constitution should be placed at the highest, and you have to follow the constitutional values. So in this way, here at least in third reading, try to connect the subjects. I hope it is clear, right? Yes. So this is about this topic, and it is at most important. And next topic is Biden Z restore military ties but remain apart from wider flashpoint of Taiwan. So here you can see this article from US-China relations. You can see this topic from US-China relations. So if you're talking about the issue between US and China, so there is a trade war which is going on between this US and China. But now unfortunately, so in this Asia Pacific Economic Partnership meet, so now these two presidents, they came across and they had this presidential meet on the sidelines of Asia Pacific Economic Partnership. And they agreed for a summit in a year on Wednesday. And actually in this meet, they said that we are going to restore our military communications. Okay, so they are going to upgrade military communications, and even they said that they are also going to improve the other, they can come up with the solutions for the tensions. So if you say before this Biden, who was the president? That is Donald Trump. And the policies of Donald Trump, they are exactly opposite to the policies of Biden. That I can say. So here Trump, during the Trump period, so he did a lot of things like moving out of Afghanistan. So US moved out of Afghanistan and they came up with Abraham Accord at that time. And next one here is, during this Donald Trump time only this trade war between China and US started. And now here again, so because of this Trump administration, so I can say there is decreasing of relevance of US. So US used to be the big brother and it used to show like a big brother attitude in the world. But during this time, the relevance of this US had been decreased to some extent. I'm not saying completely, but to some extent. And this thing, it want to be revival by this Biden. So Biden want to improve the relevance of US, and again he wants to bring back US to be the big brother in the world. So because of this, he want to maintain the relationship with other countries as well. So this is the thing which is happening now, right? And we have to see how this US-China relations, it will going to affect India-US relations and as well as India-China relations. Okay, so this thing that we have to wait and watch. So whether because of this increasing of bilateral cooperation between US and China, so it will be having impact, yes, because with China we are having issues. For example, you can see water war. And here China wants to come up with a lot of dams on this river Brahmaputra. So because of this, it will impact water in India, water crisis. And next one is border issue between India and China in western sector, in central sector, in eastern sector. And even China wants to come up with a good relationship with Bhutan, so that it wants to occupy our Siliguri corridor, that is Chicken Neck corridor. So it is very much important strategically to connect mainland India with this northeast India. So if this Siliguri corridor, which is present here, okay, so it is a very narrow corridor which is connecting our northeast with this mainland. So if it is occupied, means we will be losing connection with mainland India with this northeast. So this is strategy of China actually. And even India and China also having issue because of this Dalai Lama also. Clear? So you have to think in this dimensions. Clear? And this topic is important from your GS paper 2 under international relations. And here you can see one pretty image. So actually I like this suit. So here this image which is talking about electronic voting machines. So officials moving to the polling booth after collecting electronic voting machines, that is nothing but EVMs, and other materials in Bhopal on the eve of Madhya Pradesh Assembly elections. So here you have to focus on electoral reforms. You have to focus on electoral reforms and Election Commission of India and Chief Election Commissioner and also election commissioners, and you have to see State Election Commission as well, because so this year we have elections in 5 states. So in our state also we are going to have elections on November 30. So on this 30 I will be going to my hometown. I am very happy and I am waiting for that day. Okay. So this is about this topic, and this topic is important from your polity which comes under GS paper 2. Clear? And this electoral reforms and elections topic is one of the favorite area of UPSC, and you have to focus on that, and you can expect a question because of elections. So that's it in the first page, and in the second page you can see article about illegal abortions. Yes, in India illegal abortions are happening. So because of that, our government which came up with this Medical Termination of Pregnancy Act, right? So because of this illegal abortions, it led to increased death rate of women. Okay, that led to increased death rate of women, and especially during this period of 1960s to 1970s. So we have one phenomena which is still prevalent, that is sons of soil, and next one is son meta preference. So we have this concept called as son meta preference, especially in rural areas. So there is more preference to son rather than a daughter. So even today also soil meta preference is prevalent. So because of this, if they found that, so whenever they are carrying female in their womb, so they are going for feticide. So this is called as feticide. So exactly we will call it as female feticide. That means we are killing the fetus of female in the womb. So that is one of the important reasons for increasing of illegal abortions. Right? So I don't know like whether it is still prevalent in your areas or not, but in our areas, so in my in-laws village, so this son meta preference is very high. Yes, that is a very high. So even I used to be in this case if I had not have a son. Unfortunately, thank God, so I got son. So I don't have this tension of son now. Yes, this is very much prevalent. Yes, so let me know. You are going to be a future bureaucrat. So I want to give you one scenario. Like if you are finding that female feticide is high in your district, so what are the steps that you are going to take? So please let me know your course of action. Okay, so at least 2 to 3 points about what will you do if you came across this issue of female feticide in your district and you got orders from the higher authorities that you have to immediately check this female feticide, and you found that illegal abortions are going on, and especially some diagnostic centers, they are revealing the sex of the fetus. So we came across to know that yes, there are some diagnostic centers, they are revealing that yes, fetus sex, and they are going for illegal abortions, and you are seeing that there is female feticide which is happening, and you got orders from your higher authorities to check this. So now what is your course of action? Yes, please let me know. I explain the scenario. At least let me know, everyone, like 2 to 3 points. So how many people will be watching? So everyone. So without any assistance, yes, you have to let me know like what can be the actions you will be taking. So then only, yes, you will be improving your think process. So take it as a challenge, and please let me know your course of action in the comment box so that even others will be getting the ideas. Okay? So you will be the role model now in the comment box. Yes, now let us move on to editorial page, and the most of the articles in the states page, they are nothing much important, and even you can leave this Spotlight and Metropolis because today is Friday, so there is no need of going through that. And next one here is Manipur issue. So you know about this Manipur issue, right? Yes or no? It is between Kukis and Meiteis. Okay, so Kukis and Meiteis issue. So already we discussed this topic number of times. And next topic, it is about electoral bond scheme. So because of elections in 5 states, yes, you have to see all the topics which are relevant from our elections in India, like Election Commission of India, electoral reforms, Representation of People's Act of 1950, 1951, and even this electoral bond scheme. So we are going to see this topic in very great detail, and this article is important from your GS paper 2 under polity and governance, and this topic is important from both your prelims and as well as your mains. So here you have to see what is that scheme. So when we came up with that scheme, so what are the advantages or benefits and even challenges? And next topic is branded, generic and the missing ingredient of polity. So this article which is talking about healthcare in India. So here just you have to see like what are the issues we are facing in our healthcare. So as a student from medical background, I can share some of my practical experiences. That one is people, they are moving towards private hospitals more rather than public hospitals or government hospitals. So people are opting to go towards private hospitals rather than government hospitals. Will you accept it or not? Yes, I worked as intern in Kim's hospital. So I know that most of the people, they are moving towards private hospitals because in public hospital they are having some issues. There is lack of what? Infrastructure. And one more thing is, have you watched this movie of Jawan? Yes, if you watch that movie of Jawan, so they describe about some problems of our public or government hospitals. Yes, that is a very much detailedly given. So that is the thing which is seen even in some rural areas. They do not have the proper infrastructures and do not have the operation theatres. So I'm not talking about each and every area, each and every state, but in some states, especially in the rural areas, they are facing problem of lack of infrastructure, lack of trained doctors, and even facilities in the hospitals are not much up to this world-class level. So now private hospitals are doing very good, and because of this private hospitals, now we are focusing on even medical tourism. Yes, India is doing good in this medical tourism, and especially in this medical tourism, so people who are foreigners, you are visiting India to get treatment, because the treatment in India is comparatively cheap with other countries. So even I talked to a lot of people who came to this KIMS hospital when I was intern. I worked in this gastroenterology department. Okay, so there are a number of Africans and even other country people. So they came and they got surgeries in KIMS hospital. Okay, so that is my personal experience. And even if you see in this healthcare, so whatever the spending which is done by the government, which is very less when you are comparing with the other countries. Yes or no? Yes. So public spending in this health sector is very less. And even we are using branded drugs. So because of this using of this branded drugs, the cost of health is increasing. The cost of health is increasing day by day because we are using this branded drugs. So rather than this using of branded drugs, so we can use this generic drugs. And one more issue here is patent of drugs. So this patent of drugs issue is also in news. I think you might be remembering about this bedaquiline drug. So do you know about this bedaquiline drug? So recently Johnson & Johnson want to extend its patent rights on this bedaquiline. So it came up with changing of process of preparing this bedaquiline, and it added some salt. Okay, salt to this bedaquiline, and by that it's saying that yes, we are going to have the patent for next 10 years. So whenever there is extension of patent is happening, so we are not going to get this generic drug. So if you want to get this generic drug, then the patent should be completed. Right? So this is also one important issue. And next one is, rather than focusing only on allopathy, so we are also having other traditional system of medicine in India, like Ayurvedic, Siddha, Unani, like, yes, right? So we can use them. And in healthcare sector, we are facing problem called as lack of practitioners and lack of nurses. So nurses to patient ratio is also very less in India. Right? So these are some problems that you are facing in healthcare sector. So you have to say like, what are the measures? What are the measures that can be taken to improve our healthcare in India? Right? Okay. So these are some things that you have to remember. And now let us move on. So please let me know whether this class is useful or not. Okay, so that it will encourage me and it will help me and it will support me, so that I will come up with more such a content which is very much relevant from our examination point of view, and that will helpful to impart knowledge in you. Okay, so please support me and please encourage me daily. And next topic, it is about elections should be state funded or not. So this article is important. State funding, or we can call it as public funding of elections. So this article is at most important, that too from means. So you can't expect any question in your prelims, but you can expect a question in your mains regarding what is your opinion on the state funding of elections, or you can get a question like, what are the advantages and disadvantages of the state funding of elections. So this topic is at most important. And if you move on, so in this text and context, this article, it is about sub-categorization, on the sub-categorization within the caste. So here especially they are talking about Madiga community in Telangana. So why did Prime Minister promise a recent election rally in Telangana with respect to Madiga community? Why are Commission for Scheduled Caste and National Commission for Scheduled Tribes against sub-categorizing? So you have to know what are the legal challenges. So our Prime Minister, he said that we are going to come up with sub-categorization, okay, in this Madiga community in Telangana state. But it is against this National Commission for Scheduled Caste and Scheduled Tribes. And they are saying that if you are going for this sub-categorization, so we are going to face challenges. So we have to see that. And here you have to focus on this thing like National Commission on Scheduled Tribes and Scheduled Caste, that is present in your Lakshmikant. Okay, in Lakshmikant you will be having a separate chapter of National Commission on Scheduled Tribes and National Commission on Scheduled Caste. You have to read that topic. And next topic, it is about the first vaccine for chikungunya. Okay, so because of this, there is a high chance of getting question regarding chikungunya in your examination, and you have to see which mosquitoes are causing this outbreak. And if you move on to this news page, there is one article here that is about India-UK relations. So title says Jaishankar optimistic on Starmer's view of UK-India relations. So here in this India-UK relations, so one problem we are facing is comprehensive trade partnership. Okay, so comprehensive trade partnership, we have the problem. And next one is recently India and UK, what are the developments in the relations? So we have to focus on that. And even you have to see the map of UK. So you can get a question from your map based point of view. And if you move on, you can leave this assembly polls page. Yes, this is very important. That is second anti-piracy patrol in Gulf of Guinea over, says Navy. So here you have to know about what are the issues which are facing in maritime. So on the seas and oceans, what are the issues that we are facing? So we are facing like arms trafficking. So we are facing the issues of drug trafficking and also piracy, and also we are facing issue of oil spilling and even terrorism, and also between the countries we are facing issue of fishermen issue in the water and UNCLOS. So countries are fighting for increasing of their territorial jurisdiction, and that means we can say like territorial and maritime claims. For example, China. So because of all these issues, so if you want to add, you can add. So let me know them in the comment box so that I will be updating myself. Okay. And if you see here, so because of these issues which are facing by countries even in the maritime sector, so now the countries which are sharing the boundary with the oceans and seas, they are coming together and they are forming the groups, and they want to increase peace and security, and they want to issue the issues. They want to resolve the issues regarding this maritime. So here because of this, India and European Union, they went for this second anti-piracy patrol in this Gulf of Guinea. So you have to see Guinea and the countries which are sharing boundary with this Guinea. It is very important, right? And next topic here is cryogenic upper stage of LM3. Okay, that is launch vehicle. launch vehicle makes a re-entry. So here ISRO said that cryogenic, which is the upper stage, normally in GSLV launch vehicle we have 3 units: liquid, solid and cryogenic. So this cryogenic means the fuel will be stored at very low temperature. Okay, so cryogenic means nothing but we are storing fuel in a very low temperature, that is called as cryogenic. And in this world page there is nothing much important. In this business page you can see food prices pose risk to aligning inflation to 4% target. Yes, because of increasing of price of pulses. Onions, yesterday we got onions, it is around 100 rupees per kg, and tomato price is 60 rupees per kg, and the pulses price also had been increased. We will be using tur dal daily, so for that also there is increased price which is seen. Okay, so because of this again now there is a threat of rise of inflation. So RBI officials flagged that there is a risk that food prices pose to resolve align the headline inflation to 4% target. So again what happened because of rising of food prices? So there is a potential to disrupt the gains which made in the last 2 months. So from last 2 months we are saying that there is decreasing of inflation, but now again there is rise of price of onions, tomatoes. So we have to focus on potato, onion and tomatoes. So whenever there is increasing of this price of this pot, and automatically that will leads to inflation, because without onion and without tomato we are not going to make any curries. Yes or no? Yes, right? So here you have to focus on inflation, types of inflation, cause of inflation and what will be the impact of inflation. Okay, so that's all. So now let us see the notes. And one more thing here is, please do join this mains answer writing class which is free for all to get a lot of insights regarding this mains answer writing practice. And this ID and passcode is also given or posted in the community box. So you can copy that and you can paste at the time, that is 7 PM today. And the link of this class is also given in the description box. So there also you can join. So the first topic it is about United Nations Security Council. So we are going to see that. So here context says that United Nations Security Council, in short UNSC, called for extended humanitarian pauses in Gaza Strip. So here they said that yes, we have to focus on humanitarian aid. So countries, whenever they are facing these issues of law and order problem, and whenever they are not getting the proper food and proper health care, so countries they have to come forward to help them. That is called as humanitarian aid. And Israel said that this pause would not be possible till hostages held by Hamas are released. So Hamas, they are a militant group. So they captured a lot of people of Israel. And Israel says that we will be going for pause only when the hostages will be released. So whenever these hostages they are released by Hamas, then only we can go for this pause. The resolution which prepared by Malta. So resolution prepared by Malta and introduced this resolution in this United Nations Security Council regarding the calls for urgent and extended humanitarian pauses in this Gaza Strip. So here US, UK, Russia, they abstained from voting. They didn't go for any voting. And this resolution which called that all the parties they have to comply with international humanitarian obligations, and they have to focus on especially protection of civilians, especially children. Children are suffering a lot, and because of a blast which happened in the hospital, that led to the loss of life of many infants and children. So that the children need to be get some support urgently. So this is about the resolution which prepared by Malta. And even this resolution which also called for immediate and unconditional release of all hostages. Over 230 hostages, they are believed to be held by Hamas. And here Israel demands that yes, these hostages need to be released. And now here you have to see about United Nations Security Council. In short, we will call it as UNSC. Okay, so here, so the first session which held on this January 17th, 1946, after this World War II. So World War II ended in year 1945, right? So after this World War II, so all the countries, they said and they realized that there is a need of peace and security that should be maintained. So for ensuring of peace and security throughout the world, yes, they came up with establishment of United Nations Security. Okay, United Nations Security Council. So if you're talking about some facts regarding this UNSC, so it is a premier global body. It is a premier global body and it will be focusing on maintaining international peace and security. So it will be helpful for international peace and as well as security. So it is United Nations principal crisis management body. So it is one of the United Nations principal crisis management body. So let me know how many principal organizations are there for UN. So I discussed number of times. So please let me know how many United Nations Security principal organizations are there. So one such organization is here is United Nations Security Council. So here it imposes binding obligations on 193 United Nations member states and they want to maintain peace and security in the countries. And the United Nations Security Council is composed of 15 members. So we have permanent members and we have non-permanent, or we can see like temporary. So temporary means they will be having the tenure of 2 years. Okay, so permanent members are 5. They are called as P5 members. So which are those nations? You have to remember the names. So first one is our auntie, that is China. And next one is France, Russia, US and UK. US, UK, Russia, France and China, they are P5. And there will be 10 non-permanent members. They will be elected by United Nations General Assembly and there will be 10 in number. Okay, so the tenure here is 2-year tenure. And in this non-permanent membership, there is some criteria. So you can expect that in your prelims. So we can't predict UPSC, right? So there are 5 seats which are allocated for African and Asian countries, 3 for Africa and 2 for Asia. So how far it is correct? So Asia is the largest continent, but the contribution is only 2 seats. But Africa, which is less in size compared to that of Asia, but they are getting 3 seats. So how far it is right? And 1 it is for Eastern European countries and 2 for Latin American and Caribbean countries and remaining 2 for Western European and other countries. So for Europe 1 here and 2 here, 3 seats. So see here. So what an injustice. And now India is trying to make some reforms. So it is protesting along with other countries and this group is called as G4 countries. Okay, so India was 8th term which held in 2021 to 22. And next topic it is about electoral bond scheme. Next one is electoral bond scheme. So here why it is in news? Because recently our Honorable Top Court of India, that is Supreme Court. The Supreme Court referred petitions which are challenging 2018 electoral bond scheme to a 5-judge constitutional bench. So there are a number of petitions which are filed in Supreme Court that how accountability and transparency is maintained by using this electoral bond scheme. So whether it is constitutional or not. So these are the petitions which filed in Supreme Court and Supreme Court accepted these petitions and it moved that petitions to the 5-judge constitutional bench. So the center here has termed the scheme, it is a big step towards electoral reform, and central government is saying that we are trying to ensure accountability and transparency through this electoral bond scheme, because it is talking about political funding, so funding to the political parties. So what are these electoral bonds? So the electoral bond system was introduced in 2017 by a way of finance bill. Yes, so by a way of finance bill, so this bill or this scheme has been implemented in year 2018. So here my question is, you have to let me know types of bills. So let me know these types of bills. And they serve as a means for individuals and entities to take donations to registered political parties while maintaining the donor's anonymity. So through this scheme here, it talks about funding to the political parties. So if any person, if I want to fund to any political party, I can go to the SBI bank and I can buy this electoral bond. I can give that to the political party, and within the stipulated time, so they will be converted into money by the political parties. But they will be not knowing about my details. So there is a maintaining of anonymity. So if you see the features of this electoral bond scheme, State Bank of India will be issuing the bonds in the denomination of 1,000, 10,000, 1 lakh, 10 lakh and 1 crore. So they are interest free and they can be purchased by Indian citizens, that means individuals, or like any organizations they will be purchasing. And within 15 days here they have to convert it. And next one here is, who is authorized user? So SBI is authorized user and these bonds will be sold only in SBI bank branches. So if you are going to HDFC or ICICI or IDFC, so you will be not getting those bonds. Only if you are going to this SBI, then only you can buy this electoral bonds. So what is eligibility of this political party? So only the political parties that are registered under section 29A of Representation of People's Act of 1951, so they will be eligible to receive this electoral bonds. And the purchase and encashment. So electoral bonds can be purchased digitally or through checks. So encashment will be done by that political party and they are valid for only 15 days. If you're talking about this transparency and accountability, so the parties, they need to disclose their bank account with the Election Commission of India. So that here the Election Commission of India will be getting the details of this political party funding. So here this electoral bond scheme which says that we are ensuring accountability and transparency in this funding. So what are the benefits of this scheme? So it will enhance transparency and will also enhance accountability because it will disclose donation utilization and will also discourage cash transactions and will also helpful for preserving of donors' anonymity. But there are some concerns. So what are those concerns? So first one is contradicting its basic idea. So the central criticism of this electoral bond scheme is that it does the exact opposite of what it was meant to do, to bring transparency to election funding. So here the central criticism here is electoral bond scheme, it is doing exactly opposite. So government said that we are focusing on accountability and transparency, but it is doing exactly opposite. And next one is, there is also possibility of extortion. So the fact is that bonds, they are sold via government owned banks, that is SBI, but only the government, okay, that is the ruling party, can know the details of the people who went for political funding or political party funding. So this is also one issue. And next one here is, it is a blow to democracy, because we came up with amendment to this Finance Act of 2017 and exempted that political parties from disclosing donations received through this electoral bonds. So how can we ensure transparency and accountability? No, right? And next one is, there is also favoritism towards rich corporates. So this electoral bond scheme, which has opened the floodgates to unlimited corporate donations to the political parties now. So they are even diverting the black money. And it is against free and fair elections, because only the parties which are registered under this Representation of People's Act of 1951, they are eligible to receive the donations. But what about the other small independent candidates? They can't. So this is about the issue. And next topic, it is about state funding of elections. So this topic is also at most important. So you have to focus. So please pause the video and please let me know what is your opinion, yes or no. So whether it is good if the funding for the political parties is getting from state or not. So please pause and let me know your opinion, yes or no. Please type yes or no. Done? Okay, so please type like political funding, yes or no in the comment box. So please let me know your opinion. So now let us see what is this political funding or public funding or state funding to the political parties. So what exactly it means nothing but political parties and the candidates, they normally need the money. So if they want to go for campaigning, right? So if they want, have you ever seen that there will be some vehicles, so they will be having the set of mics and they will be playing some songs and they will ask for the votes, yes or no? Yes, for doing of all those things and for campaigning and to arrange some meetings, yes, they need some money. So from where they are getting money? As of now, they are using their personal money. But that money, how much you are spending, they have to show the details to this Election Commission of India. So there is a certain limit for the member who are contesting for MLA or MP. They have to spend certain money. They should not exceed the limit. So please let me know how much money that can be spent by MLA or MP in the campaigning. So recently, the one current affairs that you can add here is, so recently Election Commission of India that increased the limit of money that can be spent by an MLA candidate and also an MP candidate. That increased recently. So you have to know that and do that research, and please let me know in the comment box. So if the political parties and candidates, they need money for their electoral campaigns and to keep contacts with their constituencies, and that will be also helpful for proper decision making, okay, and they have to maintain the personal staff. So for all these things they need money. So if they are getting money from the state, then that is called as public funding. So here public funding is a natural and necessary cost of democracy. Okay, so not in India but even in other countries, there is a public funding for elections. So please let me know which are the countries you are getting this state funding for elections. So the public funding can limit the influence of interested money and thereby which will also helps to curb the corruption in the society. Okay, so public funding that can increase transparency in the party and candidate finance, and thereby it will helps to curb the corruption. So if parties and candidates, they are financed with only the private funds, economical inequalities in the society that will increase. So what are the arguments which are against this political funding? So those against this idea wonder how a government can provide the funding. So government is already facing the deficits, right? Already government is facing the financial burden. So how can government again will fund these political parties? So this is one important thing. And whenever state is providing the funds here, even many people, they wants to come and they wants to nominate, right? So to get the funds from the state, so they will participate in the elections. And state expenditure is on the key social sector like primary health care. So already, so if you're talking about funding in education, funding in health, it is already less. So if we are focusing on electoral funding, that will lead to increasing of further burden on this government exchequer, right? So these are some important things that you have to remember. And next topic, it is about how was the first vaccine for chikungunya approved. So this is also very important article from your science and technology point of view. So if you see context, it says that on November 9th, the world's first vaccine for chikungunya was approved by FDA, Food and Drug Administration in the US. The vaccine has been developed by European vaccine manufacturer, that is Valneva, and the brand of that vaccine is Ixlic. Okay, Lixic. So I don't know how to pronounce, so pronounce in your own way. Okay, so it has been approved for administration the people who are the age which is more than 18 years. So now let us see some details regarding the facts of this chikungunya. So chikungunya is characterized by severe joint pains. So even the joints in your fingers of legs and hands, so they will be like very painful. So let me know, have you ever came across this chikungunya? Yes, I did. So that I know how the pain is. Very painful condition. Even you can't sit and even you can't sleep also. That will be that much painful. Severe joint pains and you can't move properly. So there is inability to move, and even you will be having high grade fever. So this chikungunya is caused by viral infection. Okay, and it is caused by mainly or transmitted by this mosquito, that is Aedes aegypti and as well as Aedes albopictus mosquitoes. And now it is emerging as a global threat. So here WHO said that this chikungunya is prevalent in Africa, in Asia and as well as America. Okay. So here since 2014 onwards, there is wide spread of this chikungunya because of this mosquito, that is Aedes albopictus mosquito. Okay, and even other signs and symptoms will be like joint swellings, muscle pains, headaches, nausea, fatigue and rashes. That's it. Okay, so for the prevention, you have to control the mosquito. For example, use of mosquito nets, using of medicated mosquito nets, and you should be aware that you should not have any stagnant waters around your surroundings. And you can use this gambusia fish which will feed on the larvae of the mosquito. Like that, you have to maintain the sanitation. And next topic is sub-categorization within the caste. So our Prime Minister, he said that we are going to have sub-categorization of the scheduled caste and we are going to identify the most backward among them. So it is related to this Madhga community in the state of Telangana. And actually, if you see this, so multiple states, they have tried to bring reservation laws in the state level and to build a sub-categorization in this scheduled caste, and they started deciding on a separate quantum of reservation for the subcategories. And what are the plans they came up? They had been failed. Okay, now it is going to be decided by Supreme Court soon. So that's all, and I want to announce about this mains answering course. That mains answering course had been started and you can take the admissions. Admissions are going on as well. So here in this course, we are going to cover your entire GS, GS1, GS2, GS3 and GS4. And even we are also going to have essay and case study practice also. So daily one question will be given to you. So you have to write answer for that question based on the schedule. And you have to send your answer to our mail ID in PDF format, so that the evaluation will be given with a detailed feedback. So feedback will be like, so how you wrote the answer, So how you wrote introduction, conclusion, so whether any changes can be required, and how can you improve your presentation, like can you use any diagrams or can you use any map, etc. So that thing will be clearly given the feedback, and based on the feedback you will be improving day by day. And on every Sunday we will be having live class at 7 p.m. to 8 p.m. There we are going to discuss your doubts, and even we are going to have live essay writing and as well as case study practice. And next one here is we are going to start this ethics live course that is going to be started from 20th November onwards. So every day the class will be conducted from 6 to 8 p.m. on Zoom. And we are going to cover each and every topic and subtopic keywords in your syllabus within 50 hours. So if this 50 hours is not enough, so we are going to increase that to 60 hours also. And special focus on example and case studies, and we are also going to have mains answer writing practice every day. And we are going to provide you the recorded classes if you are missing that live classes, so that you can watch it later, and we will provide the notes, okay, and also some examples which will be helpful. And there will be doubt clearing and one-to-one mentorship will be provided. And I can assure you for 100% that if you join this course, you will be getting more than 130 marks in your UPSC mains, that too in ethics. So it is a very challenging subject, and there is an easy process to gain more marks in your mains. So don't miss this chance, and you will be not getting such a type of course anywhere with such a low price. So if you want to enroll this course, so please contact me on this number 8074765513. Okay, so please contact me on this number. I will be talking to you personally so that you can clear your doubts regarding these courses. And even this is WhatsApp number, you can even text me on this WhatsApp as well. So that's all for today. And if you want to get the notes of this class, you can join the Telegram channel. Link is given in the description box. So by this I am concluding. I hope you enjoyed this class. If you really like this class, hit the like button and share this class to your friends also. And share about this course to your friends. It will be very beneficial. Okay. And one more thing is, please don't forget to subscribe to this Rathod's IAS Academy. Thank you so much for watching.